Okay, so we've seen the Silver Palace little trailer, but now this is apparently 16 entire minutes of gameplay. Now, the game looked really good when we saw it like 8 months ago, but how good does it look now? When we actually see full-on gameplay. Okay, so it's all going to be in Chinese. Yo, I thought this was supposed to be like Victorian England. That guy's outfit, he looks like a modern-day thug or something. Or he looks like a cyberpunk thug, rather. Okay. Well, you can see his footprints. I guess we're a really good detective. I think that little rope thing looks a little bit stiff to me. That's kind of cool. Bro, all these guys are wearing the same outfit. Okay. There's something about the way she swings the sword that seems a little bit stiff to me, but the parry looks really good. And the gun shooting is kind of cool too. Yeah, her hair is going all over. I actually really like the gun shooting. I think that's sick. Oh, who's this guy? What the hell? He's like an electric fist? I do like gauntlet weapons. He actually looks way cooler than her to play, to be honest. Oh, and this is that girl Alf or whatever, or is this somebody else? She has a shotgun and she just hits them with it? I heard people saying that they thought the combat looked like bad or something, but it doesn't look bad at all. It doesn't look amazing. Like, don't keep in mind, it doesn't look like the most insane, polished, best thing ever. But it doesn't look bad. I heard a lot of negativity around it. It looks like they have some sort of stagger bar kind of thing. It seems like it would be boring after a while. Well, here's the thing. It really comes down to how well the enemies get designed, right? Because you can have a simple style of gameplay, like for instance a Souls game, where the style of combat would get boring after a while if all the enemies were boring. So it depends on that, I feel like, right? Yo, it looks pretty cool. There's no subtitles, right? Yeah, no. Okay, there's like no sound there, but whatever. It's like in beta or alpha or whatever that this is showing. They just don't have all the sound effects there. Translate for us? Tell me where something is. Where did you get something, probably? I don't know, she's the detective. I don't know, bro. He's giving a speech. You know what I'm noticing? There's a skip button in the top right. Okay, skip button. That's a big W. Wait, this guy's not like a K-pop pretty boy and you can play as him. Whoa. Wait, playable male character that's over the age of 18? Wait, what the hell? Wait a second. Okay. Looks like you look for like clues. This makes me think of like that noir detective game, LA Noire or whatever. Now, it would be cool if you actually have to make some form of real deductions, and it's not just the most obvious thing ever or autocomplete. If you actually had to use your brain, that would be really cool, but I feel like usually that doesn't happen. I don't really expect that out of a gacha game that's trying to capture like a large audience. It never happens. It'll be like, where does the square block go? And then there's a square hole, you know? But who knows?
这点倒是对上了。高跟鞋上有一种奇怪的物质，这个物质我在尸体上也见到过，但无法分辨出它是什么。Look at the rain effects on the outfit. It's actually like streaming down and everything. It looks pretty good. The water effects and stuff seem really good. I guess something's missing. Okay. I do like the theming.
I do think that the theming is pretty cool looking. It's basically just like backwater England. They don't really have any facial expressions in any of these cutscenes. They kind of just overall look the same, I'll definitely say.
这个人是海军派来的督察雷可斯，专门管理警局的。
They have an aura amount of motion, like with their bodies, but their face doesn't really move. Also, the textures on the outfits actually look pretty cool. Seems like they have a pretty high level of detail.
没想到雷可斯督察会这么重视这个案子，好事啊！我们回去聊聊具体的事宜怎么样？
我需要你的述职报告。
没问题，随后就交。
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on here, but alright. Cool. They got cool outfits.
还牵扯到了海军。劳伦警长建议我们不要插手，也许我们应该回
Yeah,
到
I think overall, I saw a lot of people also saying that they thought it didn't look that nice, like visually, because it didn't improve from the last time we saw it, but I feel like it looks really good, right? Visually. Okay, I'm glad we skipped to something different here. Let's see. See, this is you just running around the town. Level 25. Got your party over here. I will say it would be nice if it was like Enfield, where your whole squad is with you all the time. I'm just getting a little bit tired of running around alone and then swapping between characters mid-combat, you know? It's just become so commonplace. Should make some food or coffee or whatever. Now here's what I wonder. Is this one of those things where you get some energy and it's coffee like ZZZ or something? Is it like that? It's like some sort of stat upgrade, I guess? A lot of these games like to have all of these cooking kind of things, but then no one actually uses them. Okay, you can just get on the horse instantly. That's cool. You can also like drift on this thing we saw in the previous trailer. Wait, why does it have a stamina bar though? Why do you have a stamina bar on the horse, man? That's like if you could get into summon a car and then you have a stamina bar on it, like a gasoline bar. It also has like a flight bar, so you can't just unlimitedly. I'm not really a fan of having like stamina bars on just being able to maneuver around, but if you can increase it a lot to where it doesn't really even matter, then I don't have a problem with that. There's a lot of cool maneuverability, it looks like. Now, the biggest issue they're going to have is making it feel meaningful, because it's awesome to be able to fly around and ride the horse everywhere, but you need to make it so that you actually want to explore it. It's not just treasure chests, right? Because we've played so many games now where you run around and you grab all the treasure chests, and that's cool, but like, you don't really feel like you're getting meaningful exploration. You know, that's the issue. Is you want the exploration to feel more meaningful than I'm just searching for a tiny smidgen of gacha currency, right? That's the biggest thing. We have so many games that are like that now, that how do you make it feel more meaningful or different, right? The city looks really, really nice, by the way, but it also looks empty. I'm not really seeing that many NPCs running around. I'm not seeing like vehicles going around, right? Or like horse-drawn carriages or whatever you want to put around here, right? And that's probably due to limitations, and also this is a beta, so like who knows what it would be like on launch, but I feel like at least on the PC version it would be really nice to have like a bunch of things moving around. Yeah, I guess the RAM prices are so high they had to cut back. Really nice looking city though, like looks really cool actually. Okay, they swapped to a character that has, what the hell, she's got like a donut? She's got like a ferret thing and like a donut and like, I don't even know, some other thing riding around with her. What the hell? Okay. Sort of like a fantasy type character. Okay, the flying looks pretty good. I mean, I've played so much of Wua's flying, and Wua's flying feels really good. It seems a little bit weird that this one has that stamina bar. But I guess they don't want you just like zooming everywhere instantly. It seems like you can still float around even while at no stamina though. You see, they're running around and the place looks amazing, but it's just like you go to a place and it looks nice, but then there's nothing but a treasure chest. I'm a little bit concerned about that. I mean, the city looks crazy. I've actually been wanting something like this where you have a giant open world, but it's all a city. It's just a random harpy. It might just be me, but the camera movement is actually making me a little bit sick, to be honest. It's like... maybe it's just the FPS of it or something like that, but I think it's just because the FPS is weak, but like, holy crap, it's actually like, kind of hurting me a little bit. I think that 6-shooter looks awesome. I really like that revolver she's using. The parry looks good. Like, it looks satisfying, and the gun actually looks pretty cool. Yeah, they're just running all over and grabbing a bunch of chests. It's like, what else is there? Oh, okay, what's next? So this is more of the story, I guess. To be fair, this is not an official video that was put out by the Silver Palace people, right? This is just some guy just put this up. So, you know. Things just look so similar to a lot of other games that have already come out, right? The way they do the dialogue options is in the same place, looks the exact same, right? You go around, you grab the treasure chests, you have 4 characters that you swap between, you know, like, I feel like we've seen a lot of this kind of stuff before, and I'd like to see a little bit more innovation on some of these things is the one problem, right? Because, like, how do you really set yourself apart? Now, the unique and cool themes about this that I like the whole detective theme. I think the graphics look cool. I like the whole city aspect. I think all that stuff is really nice. Those are more fun, unique things about this game that I really like. But I'm just a little bit concerned about how it has so many similarities to what we already have. Yeah, for all we know, this could be even older than the beta that's going to be coming out. For all we know. I have no idea when this actually took place, because this is not an official video. That's just a normal dog. Are we really going to just be killing these things? Okay, Hassan. Oh wait, never mind. Oh wait, no, maybe we are fighting. It's a Pokemon? Oh, it's okay then. Oh no, he's just sending the dogs at us. Oh, I kind of like the music. I like the piano part a bunch at least. Just shoot them always down. It's interesting looking at the stuff at the bottom. Do you see that UI at the bottom? You see that stuff? It's like that's your ult bar, I think, and then that's like your bullets or some other thing. I kind of think the song's cool. Yeah, it's like bullets and or other abilities a character has. They got the crazy leap effects. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're parrying, they're just blocking. Oh wait, no, that was a parry, I think. You see, there's so many of these games now that have this style of combat of like, you know, swap 4 characters between and like mash a bunch of buttons. But most of them don't really have enough difficulty on stuff unless it's like one enemy in the game, right? So like, this is obviously just a story fight, but it's something I would be curious to see what they're going to do with it. Because a lot of the time, the combat eventually just kind of becomes pointless. Because like the game's not really about it, right? This guy's pretty cool with the fist weapon. Okay, I mean, it looks pretty cool somewhat, but I think some of the motions on the main character look a little stiff. I think the other characters, their motions look a lot better than the main character. Like, they have a lot more movement on when they're attacking and doing stuff. The main characters looks a little bit stiff, I think, to me. Yeah, the camera is a little bit zoomed in, I kind of agree. Oh my god. what the... Also, I wonder if this game actually will end up being a gacha, because I think a lot of games are starting to trend away from that too. This guy's the coolest character, 100%. His fist weapon style actually looks pretty sick. Also, all of his movements look really good. I like her design a lot, and I like her gun a lot. I just think that her sword attacks look a little bit weird. And yeah, I would kind of like to zoom out maybe a little bit more. That's just a personal thing though. But yeah, this guy was not in any danger during this fight, which, I mean, it's a story fight, so I'm not surprised, but I would hope that they have some actual danger in the game. Oh, you can get like slow mode. Huh. Wait, where'd the dogs go?
你很强，但是你被笨重的武器拖累了。你更适合敏捷的战斗风格。
再来！出事了！之前袭击花车的狼人逃脱了。什么？稳定剂没有效果，他发。
I don't know what's happening, but yeah, I think that they have really good movements on the characters, like they move all over, but their facial expressions are non-existent. Also, I think it's funny that this guy's picture is from an Anta. Okay, so what can we say about this game? Okay, visually, I think it's really good. Just like really nice graphic fidelity, good water effects and lighting and stuff like that. Looks really nice. The combat effects look pretty cool overall and pretty nice overall too. Cutscenes look decent with a good amount of movement, but the facial expressions are completely stiff. They're probably going to need to change that before release if they're not already working on it. The theming of the area is really cool. I love the sort of like Victorian England kind of theme, but with some sort of like futuristic and or like fantasy elements. I think it looks cool. Also the fact that you're like a detective is kind of a cool thing. Now, I'm a little bit concerned though that the whole detective thing is just going to be a really dumb excuse, and it's going to be like, who did it? Is it this guy? And it's like the most obvious thing, and they're like, you need to please click the 3 clues that say that it's this guy, and then it's like, the clue is like, this is the murder weapon, then the other clue you're not supposed to click is like, I had coffee this morning. You know what I mean? It's probably going to be some like really dumbed down thing. Yeah, some Blue's Clues, like Dora the Explorer type thing. That's what I'm expecting. I feel like that's what's going to happen, but it would be cool if they actually had some sort of like legitimate deduction kind of thing where you're like, like, how do these link, and try to figure that out. I feel like that would actually be pretty cool. I don't know. The game has a skip button, which is great. Honestly, every single game in existence should have a skip button. It's honestly ridiculous to not have that. The combat, it looks fine, but the problem is it doesn't really look like something where it's like, oh, this is so exciting to do and I'm going to be having so much fun to do it, because it looks fine and it looks good, but if all the enemies are just going to be like ragdolls, or you're just beating them up nonstop and there's not really enough resistance, like, well, then, you know, that would be an issue. But it really comes down to the enemies they design. They don't need to make it so that you have the craziest playstyle of all time. Like a Souls game has the most basic combat ever, but the enemies are what makes it so the combat is good. It's not because the main character has the craziest animations and abilities, really, right? So they would have to be able to do that to make the combat really interesting. I'm seeing a lot of elements that are just the same as what we already have from any Hoyoverse game or Wuthering Waves, where You have 4 characters. You swap between those 4 characters, right? I do like what Enfield did where they had all 4 characters down at the same time. I do think that actually kind of fundamentally changes combat and gives a very different feeling to the game where it's kind of like you and your homies running around. It's kind of like more a older school JRPG like Tales of Symphonia or even like Final Fantasy 15, I think. It's fun to just be like with everyone at the same time rather than swapping between. Also, a little bit concerned about the exploration of the game, because even though the exploration looks cool and you're like running around on this giant horse and flying around, like that looks great. But the thing is, what's the substance? What's the point, right? Is it really just this whole city, this whole giant city and that horse and everything exists just to grab some treasure chests? Is that it? Because I've done this in like 3 or 4 games now. And we have Enfield on the way as well, which has a lot of those elements too. So how many games am I just going to run around and collect treasure chests for gacha pull currency? Because when it really comes down to it, it starts to get pretty boring. Honestly, you get way more pulls just by working a 9 to 5 at minimum wage than you do running around and grabbing the chests for that much time. And like, it's a little bit fun to grab the chests at first, but at a certain point, it just kind of becomes like a monotonous thing and you're not really even doing it for fun. You're just kind of doing it because you're like, I'm tired of this number being 30%. I want to up the number. So those are kind of my concerns about this game. It has a lot of really cool things. Like it looks really good and really impressive. But what sets it apart from what's already available is the biggest concern, right? Is its story going to be that amazing? Is its gameplay going to be amazing? Because I couldn't read what any of the story was, right? But, I mean, does it really set it that far apart? And is its gameplay that much better than, like, let's say Wuthering Waves, that it makes it you go, oh man, like, I really want to play for the combat. You know, because like I love Wuthering Waves combat, but even Wuthering Waves, it doesn't have enough enemies for me to use that good combat on. So like even if this game made really good combat, how much will we be getting out of it, right? So those are kind of my concerns about the game, even though I think the game actually looks really cool. Like, this is one of the coolest things about the game. It's just this big open world right here. Because most of these open world games, you're just running around and there's a bunch of rocks and grass, right? Like, but this is like, whoa, it's a whole city. It's really cool, actually. I really, really like that. I think that makes it super interesting. You see all those crazy mountains in the back. You probably can't go there. And I also remember seeing an early trailer, there was like a flying city or fortress or something like that. Like, I wonder if you can go there. I see there's like a flying boat right here. You probably can't go up to those things, but yeah, I wonder what's going to really set this game apart. Also, I don't know if it's going to have multiplayer elements, but I don't think there's really been that much good multiplayer gacha games either. So if they're able to do something like that, that could add a lot of value to the game too. Won't this limit the new map expansions? I don't know. Maybe map expansions would be more of the city or like a different city, or I mean, hell, maybe you're just running around rocks and caves like most other open world games. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see. Also, there's not really, it looks very empty. You don't really see pedestrians. You don't really see any sort of vehicles or people traveling around. Like, it's just empty streets. Like, look at this. There's nothing. There's no trams. I don't know. There's just nothing really going on, right? So they need to change that. They need to make it feel like it's more alive and things are going on. But to be honest, if it's the beta, that's something they can definitely change before an actual release. I'm not really surprised. And the thing is, who knows how far until this game releases? Arknight's Enfield had a beta like more than a year ago, bro, and it still hasn't come out yet. So this game could well be over a year away. So there's like so much they could potentially change before it comes out. Who knows? But these are pretty much my full thoughts on it. And yeah, that's what I think about Silver Palace. Game looks pretty cool, but I guess we'll have to see when I actually play the beta when it happens, probably sometime early next year. I guess we'll see how it is, huh?